So when I first opened my own academy and began training my own students, I developed my first fighter. His name was Chris Huissman, and it's really important, I've always felt, for any good martial artist to be able to, pass on the knowledge that they've acquired. It's one thing to say that, this and that technique works when I use it, but can you in fact teach another person to do the same things that you did? So I always believed that a person could become a full contact fighter if they listened properly, learned the techniques, trusted the techniques, and maintained good physical condition. So this was a guy that had been training with me for a couple of months. He was, I think, about 6 months into his training, maybe. And he had fought at the Fireball Challenge, which is one of the tournaments. And he'd done really well. And he won his sport jiu-jitsu and submission wrestling divisions. And so fight promoter had asked me if I had any guys ready. And I said, yeah, I got a guy. His name is Chris, and he's ready to go.
His opponent, fighting out of the blue corner, representing Richmond Pancrase, trained by Anthony Britton. He stands 5'10.5", weighs in at 160 pounds. He is Chris Huissman. At the sound of the bell, ladies and gentlemen, the third man in the ring, your referee, Cunningham. This will be fighting under the Japanese Pancrase rules regarding the strikes and the grappling and submission.
So the rules we used for this one were the Pancrase rules, which is open hand strikes to the head, closed fists to the body, and you're allowed to hit to the head on the ground and everything. Now, one of the tricky things about the fight game is sometimes, you put all your energy into training for something, you want to be able to do it, but as you can notice clearly, the opponent here, Ryan Stacy, came in considerably overweight, and they listed him at like 170 something, whatever, but you can see that's like a 190 pound guy in there with my 160 pound guy. And you can see that Ryan Stacy had also spent a little time in the tanning bed, whereas my guy was in the gym all the time. But suffice it to say, I believe that Chris's technique and the way he had trained for this event would make him unbeatable. So I said, okay, no problem, we'll fight, even though your guy's much heavier. We can still go ahead and do it. In the early stages, you can see Chris has dominated the stand-up, taken his guy down, achieved superior position. He's inside the guard, but he wants to work for a while inside the guard anyways. So I always like to stay active, either trying to pass the guard or beat the guy up a little bit to make him uncomfortable and make him want to do something with his guard, such as open it up, go for submission. So you can see how Chris is working the body head, classic attack, punching the body, try to bring the arms down, and then strike at the head. And I'm just telling him to relax and breathe and make sure to watch out for any submissions, keep his elbows bent, get his arms back, not give up position. And this kid was a really, really good listener. I mean, he took everything that I said to heart, which is why I knew that he'd do well. I had him on a really strict training regimen, which I always do for my fighters. And he was running his 2 runs every week. One is a 5K, one is a 10K. If you want to fight for me, that's what you have to do. And he would do these runs on the treadmill just before class, and then come down and do a 90-minute class like it was nothing. So the important thing with this is that if anything did go wrong, he'd be able to listen to my instructions, make adjustments, and still be able to think. This is the advantage of being a well-conditioned athlete gives you, is that you can make adjustments and you can still use, the alpha state of mind, because you're not gassed out. You're not sending all this bad air up to your brain and through your bloodstream. Your body's still able to respond and do what it wants to do because you've got the lung capacity to still think and move and make rational decisions. So this round basically ends my guy on top throwing strikes, and they didn't move. So this was a good dominant round. My guy's got his nerves under control at this point now a little bit. His first round as a fighter is out of the way. The opponent really steps up his attack and tries to use his size more. He's throwing good flurries, and right at that moment, he hits Chris with a closed fist to the head, which is illegal for obvious reasons when doing bare knuckle style. A closed fist to the head can cut people very easily. So we had to stop for a minute and examine this cut. So the doctor looks at the cut. It's high up into the forehead. It's not too dangerous, but still, I tell Chris, you're gonna want to end this. Again, there's another little short illegal punch to the face, but these mistakes can happen. So Chris is now on a mission. He's ahead, but he doesn't want to have this fight stopped because he's bleeding. So he wants to end it pretty soon, get it to the ground, and submit his guy. He's working really hard for the double leg, thinking to switch to the single, going back to double. He's trying to step around the leg and trip his opponent to the ground. His opponent's doing a pretty good job, balancing out pretty well. But inevitably that takedown's going to come, because this is not a guy that you're going to be able to stay on your feet with forever and ever. And working that guillotine choke is not going to get him anywhere. That kid's got a rubber hand. Back to the stand-up. Some exchanging. Good low kick there. And that was a hard left hand. Chris took it well. You can see where the size difference now is having a little bit of an effect. From the clinch position, he gets an advantage, brings him down. The referee's going to move them to the center of the ring now. A few moments later, back to the body-head attack. Working those closed fists to the body and the open hand to the head. Looking to pass this guard. Good strikes from the top there from Chris. It's really a shame he moved to Holland actually, and he would have been a big star here. I think he would have been really big in MMA in North America. Sits back, takes the easy guillotine choke. Not a very good camera angle there, but what can we do? The fight is won.